just my opinion, and we're going to talk about today the other side. And what I mean by the other side, we're still dealing with this COVID-19 coronavirus that's got everybody semi-locked down. At this point, we've got states that are arguing to reopen. We've got other states that are saying that we should stay closed. Depending on what community you live in, you may want to take a different approach. Because a couple of weeks ago, everybody was locked down. But when the numbers started coming out and you start seeing that more minorities are dying from this disease than anybody else, the focus changed and everybody wants to go back to work now. But don't forget, a lot of these minorities are the ones that are doing the jobs out there that a lot of people don't want to do. In the background, that'll still affect you. And you'll tell them if they don't go back to work, they won't have a job. But the point of the matter is, if they don't go back to work, you may not have a business. So these things we need to consider when we start pointing fingers and not paying attention to who we need to take care of in our society today. It's one of the points. But the next point is, like I said, on the other side, nobody really knows what's going to happen. What choice you're going to make, if there's going to even be a job there for when you're done. A lot of people then take the choice of, I'm doing pretty good on unemployment right now, actually better than I was before I was on unemployment. So my choice today is I'm going to ride it out until it all goes bad. That's one of the points of going to the other side. Me, I'm looking at it this way. We're going to have an unprecedented amount of poor people than we've ever seen before, looking for something. And it's more than likely it's going to be food first, because a hungry belly is one thing you don't want to mess with. Second thing is a place to live. And even though the governor today described that she's ready for how many beds she has available for the homeless, is not even going to come close to feeding and housing the amount of people once the numbers truly come out, because the rents aren't going down. Even though people aren't paying rent, that doesn't mean that the rents aren't going to stay the way they are. And people, when the time comes and they get to the other side and supposedly go back to work, how are they going to be able to afford paying for that rent? Even though car companies are giving them 4 months, you're throwing the number either on the back end or you're going to extend the payment out. So now instead of it being $270 a month, you're talking $475 a month. How are these people going to be able to afford this? You know, with the way that we've already had 4 plants closed down, and most of those plants in the United States were manned by minorities and blacks, where are we going? Soon you're going to go to the market. As it is, you don't find anything, but soon you're not going to find those things like pork, beef, some of the staples you have. And we're forgetting that even though gas prices are low, that's because nobody's going anywhere. Once we get back on the road and we start consuming the way we used to consume before, not much is going to change, except for the fact that there are thousands of people out there now that are more depressed than they ever were. And our rate of mental health is growing at a rate unprecedented. These are things that we're not thinking about that we're going to have to deal with on the other side. Education is another thing. Homeschooling is looking a lot better now than it ever did, especially when you are faced with a pandemic like this and you realize that the distractions that you had in school were more than they are now at home. So your kids has the ability to get an education in a way that he probably or she didn't intend to, but more than likely will be better for them. One, they don't have to go through bullying. They don't have to go through any self-esteem issues and worrying about what they have to wear and what they don't wear and who they associate with and what they don't have. They're at home. They're with people that love them, so they don't really make a difference. May do the kid a little bit more good than bad. And so that's why I'm saying in the near future you're going to see people thinking about that option and saying to the states or the cities and towns that maybe I can do a better job at home schooling my child, and then I'll take the tests that are necessary to show his or her proficiency. But I'm just giving you some things to think about. Remember, everything's going to go up. Nothing's going to go down. the price of all services are going to change. Are you going to be able to deal with it? Going to a restaurant, knowing that before you get in, they may take your temperature before you get in, and if you get to a certain degree, guess what? You're not going to eat there tonight, or you may not be able to shop, or you may not be able to get on an airplane. And in certain instances, you may have to walk around for the next month because of whatever circumstance with a mask on. It's the new way of life, as far as I'm concerned, or better yet, just my opinion. But we'll talk again.